remember that it's difficult and it's the task. Like, this isn't some, oh, I'm going to go take a break. Because if you think of it as taking a break, it's a cognitive dissonance. Because you're telling yourself it's a break, but your brain is going, I don't want to do that. It's hard. So instead, you just go, oh, wait, no, this is really difficult. I'm going to say this badly because I can't think of a good way to say it. The basic idea of it is you actually stop absorbing the outside influences and you start experimenting and you start just making stuff. You could go and try to master specific skill sets in the film world, but that's of lower value to your ability to make it, to simply make things. So if you put your focus on making things, then you can add on those other skill sets over time. Because you have to understand that there are infinite number of skills that you could learn. There are infinite number of supporting skills inside of the film industry that you could develop. And it's very, very easy for people to lose track of the thing that they actually want to do and focus too much on trying to gain skills that will prepare them to do what they want to do. If you're creating 3 times as much material as the next guy, how hard is it for you to add a new skill on down the road? It's negligible. But if you're focused on adding new skills, how difficult is it to 3x your output? Super difficult. So instead, you always focus on 3xing your output. So this leads to, we mostly talked about recuperation. This leads to the actual achievement part, which is do easy things. I really recommend applying your discipline in recuperation and disciplining yourself to take on smaller tasks than you think you should to accomplish things in the arena you want to accomplish something. So it's like, you wanted to make a 5-minute short film, make a 2-minute short film. You wanted to have 5 characters in the film, put 3. You wanted to have a complex, multifaceted plot, make it a simple plot. Are you a Joss Whedon fan? In your mind, come up with a show that, or a movie, that a film director did early on in his career that you love, but if you really look at the details, it's not that good. Well, what do you want to create? Do you want to create something that's good or something that people love? It's like, if you're being honest, you really want something that people love more than anything. You want something that you love. And it's like, what do you love? Well, you love sitting around a campfire with your friends and smoking some marshmallows out. Like, you know, burning some marshmallows, have an arm around a girl, and sing along at a campfire. Like, that's a wonderful night, right? That is not complex. That is not intricate. And if you look at your creative process in the same way of, oh, this doesn't have to be complicated. I just need to make some cool stuff. It takes a lot of the stress off of it. And it gets you more focused on making cool stuff fast. And one other aspect of this is not every element of a creation has to be top-notch. So it's like, I'm sure you've watched something that was a hilarious viral video online that had terrible audio. At the same time, you've listened to an awesome band that had a horrible music video. So it's like, it doesn't have to all win at once. The more you can focus on just like getting one thing cool, then the more you can get it out there and make the next thing. Maybe one of them you do no editing and it's all about story, where it's like barely any cuts, right? The bare minimum cuts. And it's all about, maybe somebody wrote a good dialogue. This one's all about dialogue. This one's all about plot. And if you think about movies, that's the way movies are. No movie has the best plot, the best visuals, the best dialogue, the best sound. No movie has that. They're always spread out. And it's okay. Like, that's the way it's supposed to be. That's a lot of the basic concepts of getting from a place where you're kind of in a lull and you want to start moving towards making something. I think that's a pretty good outline for a lot of the process. I mean, It's super multifaceted and there's a lot more to it, but I think that's kind of a good summary of one approach that can work. That's a good question. You should do the one that's easier. I want to point out, like, there's a whole bunch of weird caveats to this. Like, the easiest thing for you might be to take on the most difficult challenge in the world. It's like somebody that does crazy stunts. Maybe that's what they're drawn to. Is like, maybe I do absurd social things where, like, the Borat stuff, right? It's very possible that that comedian can make those movies better and faster than he could make a superhero movie, right? Even though those movies are extraordinarily difficult. And maybe there's well, superhero movies are super difficult now, but that's bad. But, like, the idea is, like, okay, maybe, like, some random sitcom that's fairly easy to make. Maybe he actually can make these comedies faster and more easily than that because he's so drawn to it and it's his strength. That's kind of one of the caveats is, like, your easy thing might be a difficult thing in terms of, like, what people consider easy and difficult. That's part of the process of finding your voice is, like, what is the thing that I can do? And you do that from, like, exploring both challenges and pushing your production where you make it easier for yourself, you make it fast, you make it quick, and then you learn more. You learn faster that way.